There you go. Man, that's a big one you got there.
That big one come out there and got it.
Heck yeah.
No, he missed it. Oh, he got it, he got it, he got it.
There he is.
Oh, it's two of them. I got two of them. Holy cow, look at that. Look at that. You got one on each hook, Jim. Oh, my, look at that. They're both good ones, too. Bring your fish over here. You're bragging about your big fish. Oh. There we go, girl.
I always like that, Jimmy. Hey.
Oh, yeah. Looky there, Joe. Way to start. I got Joe back there tying on a plastic worm. I got a Lucky Strike ringworm. Look at that fish. Nice fish. I got a Lucky Strike ringworm on there. Look at that beauty in that clear water. Will you look at that fish? Man, that is a dandy. That is a dandy. What a way to start. What a way to start. Come here, guy. Oh, man, look at how healthy that fish is. Golly. I got a Lucky Strike ringworm. You know, one of the worms that we fished with years ago is one of the most popular worms that you could ever imagine. was a ringworm. And we got Lucky Strike to bring that worm back, and I'll talk to you about it a little bit later. I'm fishing with my buddy Joe Jho, and we are fishing the maiden voyage, my maiden voyage in my brand new Tracker Heritage boat. And this is a 40th anniversary edition boat that Johnny Morris built. And Joe and Johnny go back a long way, just like Johnny Morris and I go back a long way, and we're talking about lots of years. Might ask Joe if he knows a story or two on Johnny that if he tells, don't tell Johnny Morris.
I do know a couple of stories.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good fish right there. I mean, that's a good fish. Look at that guy. Look at him go. Golly. Look at this one, Joe. That's a nice fish right there, man. Joe, you better get your worm tied on and get it out here in the lake.
I'm working as fast as
Huh?
I can. I'm working
Look at
as
that
fast
fish.
as I can on it.
Ooh, that is a nice fish right there now, I'm telling you. I mean, that is a, oh, golly. What do you think about that, sports fans? Look at that fish. That is a nice fish. Ooh. Throw right there where that water's running out, Joe. We've had heavy, heavy rains all day, about 3 inches of rain.
Got him.
And we've got a spot here where water's running out. Joe's got one, and they're stacked up in these kind of places. I mean, it's a magic, magic spot. They're stacked up where this water's running out because it's sucking bait fish in there, and they're in there just waiting on a bait fish. And what they think this is plastic. They think this is little worms that's coming, that's washing out and getting ready to wash out there. Look how fat he is, Joe. The bass, not Joe. There ain't no fat on Joe, I know that.
No fat on me.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Jimmy, you were mentioning earlier about Johnny.
Johnny Morris, yeah.
Johnny Morris.
You got a Johnny Morris?
Got a Johnny Morris story.
Yeah.
True story. I worked the first promotion Johnny ever had in his liquor store in Springfield.
Brown Derby Liquor
Brown
Store,
Derby
where he
Liquor
opened his first Bass Pro Shop.
And Bill Dance was there.
Bill Dance
Bill
showed
Dance
up.
was
I remember
there.
Bill telling me. I remember Bill telling me he pulled up, and the sign said something like, Jim Beam, $8.95 a quart. Jack Daniels, $15 a gallon or whatever. I don't know what whiskey costs. Bill Dance, 4 p.m. Right on the billboard with Johnny Walker and Jim Beam and all that kind of stuff.
And there was a man named Bill Ring who had a radio show. I'm sure you've
Johnny
heard about
loved him to death. He listened to his show every morning.
Every morning.
Yeah, I know
he
that.
had a radio show. We would do live remotes, and it was as popular today as it is then as it is today.
Oh, he was
in-store promotions. I mean, there wasn't a very big display of tackle. There was a lot of liquor, but there wasn't a very big display of tackle. And we had to bring tackle in, and we had it in the trunk of our cars.
Oh, mercy.
To replenish. And then we just gave a bill to Johnny when we were through how much merchandise we put in.
He just trusted everybody.
We trusted everybody.
He still pretty much does.
Yeah, it's amazing how much tackle we could sell.
Oh.
And then the next time there were 2 stores and then 3 stores.
Would it just fill the little liquor store up? Of course, those were good sized liquor stores.
Those are good. So we started out with just one little end cap with a little side on the display on it. It couldn't have been over 20 feet long.
Good lands.
And that was the first one, and then it just kept going because they were so popular. Well, people had never heard of it.
Right.
It was so foreign to them. And Johnny's good at promoting. And with the radio show, he got the word out to the fishermen. That was the easiest way then.
Yep.
Even before he tapped into the TV.
Oh, mercy.
But they would show up in droves.
What you got, Joe? Oh, you got another one. Well, there's a lot of fish in this area. When you can find water running in or running out of a body of water, you're going to catch a lot of fish. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Boy, they're liking that little ringworm, aren't they?
They are loving it.
I mean, they are loving that ringworm.
Come here.
Well, of course, you know, it's been pouring down rain all day. You know, these fish are glad to see somebody. They ain't seen anybody except us all day long. Boy, they love running water. I mean, tell you, it brings the bait to them, and they'll get there where that water's running either in or out, and I mean, they load
That's
up.
not what it is, Jimmy.
What is it? Well, what
Well,
is
what
it?
is?
What is it?
It's the boat. It's the 40th anniversary boat we're
The
in.
new
Johnny
heritage
made.
boat, yeah.
40 years ago.
40 years. This is just like the original bass tracker that Johnny Morse made, except it's got a lot better stuff on it. But it looks just like it. And of course, it's welded, not pop rivets. It's got a 40 horsepower Mercury.
This portion of Jimmy Houston Outdoors has been brought to you by Mercury Marine. Go boldly. Jimmy Houston Outdoors, America's favorite fishing show, is brought to you by Tracker Boats. Call 1-800-TRACKER today. By Mercury Marine. Go boldly. By Softscience, supreme comfort footwear for the angler. By Shell ROTELLA, the engine oil that works as hard as you do. And by Super Start batteries, available exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Every cast. Every cast, Joe. We gotta have to go find a place that's more difficult to catch them.
Speak for yourself. Notice he's keeping me away from the big one.
I'm only giving you 3 of those worms, so that's all you're allowed for the whole day. So
I've already got the whole package.
I'm just
over
telling you
here.
that right. Yeah, you have the whole pack back here, but I'm giving you ready to confiscate them back. That little ringworm, I'm telling you, it is a killer. It is just absolutely a killer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. God, they're mean. Holy cow, they're mean. Jeez. Those fish are down kind of deep there, though. I wonder what happens if you throw a spinnerbait up there. I might throw my Jimmy Houston spinnerbait up there and see what happens. Boy, you got one? That's a nice one there.
Yeah, we're going to take a still of this one.
Oh, yeah, look at that fish. That's the biggest one you caught. That is a nice fish right there. I mean, that is a nice fish. That is
And I double checked the, we don't have.
That is a dandy right there. That's a nice one. Golly. I mean, a nice one. Look at that guy. Oh, that's a good fish. Oh, that's a good fish. Golly. Well, they are stout. I mean, stout. They're strong. I'm talking strong. Come here, guy. Get in this boat with me. Boy, those are some beautiful fish, man.
They are.
I'm telling you, that is some gorgeous bass right there. Wow. Look at that fish. That is amazing. I don't know. I started to say how many I've caught on that worm, but I've used more than one worm, and I think this one here is about history. Might catch one more. I think we're about to wear a welcome out here, Joe. We're making a few casts, not getting a bite.
Yeah.
Well, for a while, Joe and I was getting a cast every bite. You find areas where there's water running in. I had a tournament one time, Joe, down in Mobile, a Project Sports Incorporated Classic, $50,000 to win, you know, a long time ago. And I found a place where they were dumping raw sewage into the water. It wasn't raw, it was effluent. It was green water, and the shad was just loaded up in there. And every now and then, big bass, like 3-pound bass, would come up and just eat those shad. And when they were up feeding on those shad, you could catch them. Then they'd go away and you couldn't catch them any other time. I anchored right in front of where that effluent water was coming in. It looked like green pea soup is what it looked like. I anchored there in front of that deal and sat there and fished it all 3 days of the tournament. I got second place. I didn't win it, I got second place. They loving them little worms now. Of course, we got such clear water, you know, I mean, it's a perfect bait to fish in this clear water, a little curly tail worm.
Settle down. Remember, I don't have a barb in this thing. Settle down. Well, he needs to grow a little, but we will take those. Jimmy might not, but
He
I
will
will
definitely
take them.
grow unless you eat him.
That's a good point.
Yeah, if you eat him, he's gonna quit growing. But if you do that right there, I promise you, he's gonna get bigger.
Yeah, you'll be the one to eat him then.
He's gonna get bigger. Well, I guarantee you, they are biting. All these storms and everything, we had lots and lots of rain. All these storms and the fish are eating today. I mean, they are eating today. Oh, that's a good little chunk. That's a male fish there. You see all the fish we've been catching have been females? This is a male. He got a little flat belly on him. Those big fat girls we've been catching, oh, I like those. Well, I'm going to invest in me another worm. I think I can afford one more. Invest in another worm right here. Isn't it amazing how the storms were and how hard it was raining?
Mhm.
Look at here, we're about to get blue sky.
Blues. I think there's a song about that, isn't there?
Blue
Blue
skies,
skies headed my way.
nothing but blue skies. Do I see?
I know, we're not singers, I get that.
Huh?
We're not.
This used to be, Joe, one of the hottest colors you could ever imagine. And to me, it was just a real pretty color. I caught a lot of fish on it. That purple with a powder blue tail. And they were in a lot of brands, but this little ringworm produced probably about as good as anything. And nearly all of these worms were a two-colored worm. And you know, really and truly, we don't fish with two-color worms all that much anymore. We fish with worms that's got a lot of colors in them, but not, you know, one the top being one side and the tail being another.
This portion of Jimmy Houston Outdoors is brought to you by Power Pole Shallow Water Anchor. Jimmy's Look Back is brought to you by Tracker Boats. Call 1-800-TRACKER today.
Got it? Got it. He was up for a shallow one, too.
That's a good fish.
That's
That's a good fish. I can't tell he's running back. No, he's just a little one. Just a little one. He's running back the boat.
He blew up
He
on
is
that.
real little.
He blew up on that buzz
Way
bait
smaller
just
than
as
how
soon
they
as it
be.
hit the water, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That's right.
Just as soon as
Must have
he
got me
hit
down in
it.
the weeds a little bit there. Felt a little better than he was. He just a little stinker here. Boy, he got her both.
Hook and the trailer hook. I'll catch him
Yep.
off that log right there.
You got my doggone. Now there it is. Fell off the
laying
boat.
around down there.
Thought I was gonna lose my trailer here. Stinker.
Well, we got off out here a little further because of all that, those weeds going on the
Yeah.
bottom. We might ought to move in. They may be inside of those weeds in that real shallow water. Get ready.
There he is. Oh, he's in. He almost got in the brush there on you.
We got him out. Oh, pretty fish.
Oh, that's a
Pretty
beautiful fish, isn't it?
That's a
Beautiful fish.
pretty fish.
Oh,
Whoa, baby. Whoa.
oh, that's a big fish. That's a big fish. Hey, that's what
Whoa,
we came
here.
for. Oh, that's a hog. You gonna lip him or?
I'm gonna lip him or he's gonna bite my thumb off. I don't know which.
All right.
Pretty fish.
All right.
Well, Russ,
And I was real nice. I let you throw in there in my own personal tree.
you sure did.
My own
Your,
personal tree.
Your Iowa Great Lake fishing's not too bad.
Hey.
Caught him early this morning on that Strike King buzz spoon. Middle of the day, we caught him on a auger tail worm, and I'm gonna tell you what, my old Magnum Willow Mag looks kind of bad there, don't he? To pull the dress down and everything.
Oh, there's
you
another
got
one.
one
Oh, we
too.
got another one just like that one out of that same tree. Oh,
Well,
right out of the same.
y'all have fun.
Here.
Russ and I are gonna quit.
No, wait a minute.
If you
here,
can
here.
believe that, we got a bridge
Sam.
we'd like to sell you in New York. Spin
2
it.
and 2 casts out of the same bush. How about
Iowa
that?
Great Lake fishing. Not bad, not bad. You go back, baby.
Yeah.
I'll come back and catch you later.
Jimmy's Look Back has been brought to you by Tracker Boats.
That one,
Right on the edge of that big
Right-
old piece of brush. That's a
right
nice
where it
fish
should have
there.
been,
A little bit bigger than what we've been catching lately. Golly. Oh, he ate it, Joe.
Uh-oh, one
I might let that guy have it. I hadn't had one swallow, but that guy there looks like he might be down kind of deep. I don't like it. I don't like it when they're like that.
You need needle nose?
Yeah, I got some up here. I have some. I might be able. I'm pretty good at extracting. How about that? I could have been a dentist. Wouldn't have had near this much fun though. I get close to their teeth, but I don't pull them out. Yeah. You know, Joe, the amazing thing about this boat right here, and you know what it does for me more than anything else, it's a great boat to fish out of, incredible boat to fish out of. But the thing that really gets my attention on this boat is this is the boat that actually changed the bass boat fishing industry totally. You know, Johnny Morris had the idea that he could take, and back in those days, people don't really realize it. You know, of course, an old guy like you, but you know, we bought a boat, we bought a motor, we bought a trailer, 3 different places, sometimes from 3 different individuals, in fact. Sometimes you bought it all at one place, but a lot of times you usually bought them in 3 different places. You bought locators, you bought a trolling motor, you bought batteries, and then you hired somebody to put it all together. And Johnny had the bright idea that you could put all of this together and have just buy one deal, one price, and by putting it all together, you could get a better deal out of it. You could buy it all cheaper than you could buying it all individually. You got my fish?
Oh, it's my fish.
You have my fish.
No, that's my
it's not.
fish.
That's the biggest one you caught all day. It must be my fish. Have to be my fish.
No, that's my fish.
That's a nice fish right there.
No, that's my fish.
That is a good fish right
No,
there.
see? Look the color of worm in his mouth. That's
I see.
That's my color.
Yeah, you should have half of my worm in there
No,
too.
no, that's the one that's over there.
Should have half of my worm too. I gave you the best color anyway.
You gave me the best color. Picked it out of the
Brown with chartreuse tail. Joe, that's a nice one there.
And he's right where he's supposed to be hooked.
Very,
see?
very good.
We didn't let that one get down his throat.
Well, I did on that last one I had. Let me show you how I'm rigging these worms. We've got his regular Texas style, but now we're using extremely light slip sinkers, 1/8 ounce slip sinker. We sometimes use them a little smaller than that. I've got a 3/0 Daiichi KO bend hook in there. And here's what we're doing. It's a regular Texas style, but we're doing what we call skin hooking. And you do that, you want to run that bait in about a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch. Come around here, work up through your little bend. Come out where your bend is. So you want the point, you want the knot, you want that completely inside the worm. That way that slip sinker fits down on there, and the line is inside of the worm. And then you want to come back here, and I'm going to go back here and just kind of measure. And the way you measure is you put that back there where the bend is. You put your thumbnail right where that bend is. And then you're going to put that hook straight through where that bend is, and then kind of come up a little bit like this. Now you've got the hook through the worm, just like I've got it right there. And you just come up and skin hook a little bit. Now with a ringworm, you don't even need to skin hook back in the worm. You string in these rings that's around it. And you got a totally weedless rig there. And yet when the fish bites a hold of it like this, he's going to push it down, expose that hook, and you're going to hook them. Hook them really, really well.
Jimmy Houston Outdoors is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. By High Seas, when the money's on the line. By Jackson Kayak, Advantage Fisherman. By Orion Coolers, never lose your cool. And by Lucky Strike, where preparation and opportunity collide. Houston's Helpful Hints is brought to you by Jimmy Houston High-Tech Performance Fishing Rods.
People fish with plastic worms in a lot of different ways nowadays, and most of the ways that we fish with plastic worms are old-fashioned. They just sort of put new terminology to it. As an example, like a shaky head. A shaky head is actually a jig and worm. Before we had slip sinkers, like we have now, we fished plastic worms on a jig head. That's the only way they came. There was no such thing as a slip sinker, so it was a jig and worm. That's what we call now a shaky head. And of course, obviously, a Ned rig is simply a different shaped shaky head that stands up on the bottom and causes the bait to stand up a whole lot higher. And the plastics they use on it, which I use a lot of different type plastics on them, but they have certain plastics designed that's very, very light and designed to float a little bit. A Carolina rig, of course, all you're doing is putting a swivel or something up above and then letting that bait, you know, drag along or float back behind it, depending on the type of plastic you have on it. And then, of course, the old Texas rig. The old Texas rig is still probably the most effective way to catch bass on a plastic worm. And it's probably used more than ever because you can use it in heavy brush, you can swim them, you can fish them down in the rocks, you can do lots and lots of things with them. But here's the thing about fishing a Texas rig plastic worm. Try to fish with as light a slip sinker as you could possibly get away with. We fish with 1/8 ounce all day today, and even though sometimes we're fishing 10, 12, 13 foot deep, we're still fishing with a light slip sinker. It'll cause that bait to fall more naturally, give it a lot more texture as it falls, and it really will get you more bites. So one of the things on a Texas rig, the lighter the slip sinker, the more bites you're gonna
Well,
get.
it's late in the day and the sun's getting low. Caught me a big one, but I let it go. I sure had fun just watching him stretch my line.